So this guy, first day as a hunter, cast the exact same F rank spell like 3,000 times in a row. Doesn't break a sweat. Isn't tired. I mean, we need to talk about this.
Bro, it breaks the entire system. Like,
Right.
It shouldn't be physically, logically, or magically possible.
Right. Welcome to DeepLore, where we go deep on the novels you can't stop reading. Today, we're starting fresh on infinite mana in the apocalypse.
I am so hyped for this. It is such a wild premise from the absolute jump.
It really is. But before we get to the whole system-breaking part, we should quickly set the stage for you. So basically, over 1 billion people are dead. The apocalypse happened, and Earth has been, like, forcefully integrated into this totally new magical landscape.
Yeah, and the world is now dotted with these massive colored monoliths. They're called dungeons.
Right, and the colors dictate the danger level, you know.
Exactly. So a blue monolith means you're relatively safe, the dungeon is stable, but orange or red, that means a dungeon break is basically imminent, and monsters are about to spill out into the physical streets.
Which is terrifying. And humanity's only line of defense, and honestly the new foundation of the global economy, are these awakened hunters. They dive into the dungeons, kill monsters, and absorb these dropped items called life cores.
And those cores are everything. Absorbing them boosts your 3 main physiological stats. You've got vitality, which is health and defense, strength, which is your physical power, and Focus, yeah. Which is essentially your mana, right?
Yeah.
Your magical energy capacity.
Right. Which brings us directly to Noah, our main guy.
Yeah, Noah he is not a chosen one. He doesn't have some legendary lineage. He's just an average, super desperate guy trying to survive post-apocalyptic inflation.
He's literally broke. He blows his entire $20,000 inheritance on a basic bottom-tier F-rank Fireball skill book, every cent he has.
Just praying that reading it will trigger his awakening so he doesn't, starve to death. It's the ultimate gamble. And when he finally activates the book, he gets his stat screen.
This part is so good. So his vitality is at a perfectly average 10, strength is at 10, but his focus is just a blank dash.
Just a little horizontal line.
Yeah. And the psychological whiplash here is just brilliant. Like, imagine you're standing in Noah's shoes right now.
Oh, I'd be panicking.
Exactly. On one hand, it's utterly terrifying. Focus dictates your magical energy. If you have no focus, can you even cast the spell you just bankrupted yourself to buy?
But on the other hand, a blank space is really tantalizing. Like, if you look at this through the lens of computer logic or system mechanics, a blank isn't a zero.
Right.
It's an undefined variable. And in a system that is heavily predicated on rigid numbers and hard ceilings, an undefined variable is basically the most dangerous anomaly you can introduce.
And he has to test it. He can't just sit there. So he sneaks out behind his apartment complex to this barren field. And walk me through the mechanics of a normal F-rank mage here. Like, what should technically happen?
Okay, so normally, a mage's focus stat acts like a physical battery. Let's say an F-rank hunter has 10 focus. Casting an F-rank spell like Fireball requires 2 focus points, so they can cast it exactly 5 times.
Just 5.
Just 5. After that 5th cast, they hit total mana depletion.
Yeah.
And it's not just like a cooldown timer in a video game. It's intense physiological exhaustion.
Yeah, they get dizzy, they get crazy migraines.
Exactly. And if they push it, they pass out completely.
Okay, so Noah throws his first fireball. It works. The spell materializes. He's thrilled he didn't waste his life savings. He throws 5. He braces himself for that migraine, expects to hit a wall.
But he doesn't feel anything. No dizziness, no drain at all.
Because there is no battery to drain.
Right.
So he keeps going. 50 casts. 100, 300, 500 fireballs.
And he's just hiding in the trees watching this happen, completely losing his mind.
It's insane. I was thinking about this, and the best analogy I can come up with is like driving a car with a broken gas gauge. You're gripping the steering wheel, you're bracing yourself, expecting the engine to just sputter and die at any single second. But you press the pedal, and the car just keeps accelerating endlessly.
That's exactly what it feels like.
It's this chaotic blend of the panic of the unknown and the sheer adrenaline rush of realizing the rules of physics just don't apply to you.
And his reaction is so perfectly grounded. He's terrified by the implications, but you can feel this wild hope bubbling up. If an average hunter taps out at 5 casts and he's effortlessly hitting 500, he's already bypassing the energy reserves of C rank or B rank hunters on his very first day as an F rank.
Which immediately creates a massive problem for him, because if you have infinite resources in a scarcity-driven world, you have a massive target on your back.
Exactly. So what does a smart guy with a game-breaking anomaly do when guilds and governments control literally everything?
Lies through his teeth.
Yes. He sandbags the hunter license exam. He goes to the Awaken Center to get officially registered. He steps up to the testing dummies, casts 8 fireballs, and then deliberately fakes looking physically exhausted on the last few.
Which is so smart. Explain why this is so critical. Like, why not just show off and get a high rank immediately?
Because human greed in this setting is just as dangerous as the monsters, if not more so. The Awaken Centers track every metric.
Right, they have all the data.
Yeah, and if the government or a mega guild realized he had an undefined, bottomless mana pool, they wouldn't, make him a CEO. They'd lock him in a basement fortress, hook him up to a magical conduit, and use him as an endless artillery cannon.
He'd just become property.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By casting exactly 8 fireballs, he paints himself as a quote-unquote peak F-rank hunter. It's impressive enough to get licensed without raising any red flags.
Okay, so he secures his golden license card, and he immediately heads to an F-rank blue monolith dungeon called Ape's Paradise.
Love the name.
Right. And here's where the reality of the hunter economy really hits him. He's going in solo. The other hunters outside are openly mocking him, laughing, saying he has a death wish. Because normally, clearing Ape's Paradise is not a solo endeavor, right?
Not at all. A standard clear requires a balanced 6-person party. You need 2 knights, heavily invested in vitality, to act as physical walls and draw aggro.
Gotta have tanks.
Right. Then you need 2 berserkers with high strength to deal massive melee damage while the boosts are distracted. And you need 2 mages with high focus to bombard from a distance, carefully rationing their mana. It's a structured tactical operation.
And Noah just strolls in alone, and what happens? Absolute carnage. He completely obliterates 9 floors of giant apes in under 30 minutes.
Brutal.
He drops the final boss with just 5 fireballs. He walks out with $60,000 worth of life cores and a minor heal skill book. Now, I want to make sure we emphasize something crucial here. This wasn't just him being lucky that his spell was strong.
Oh, absolutely not. It's ruthless, calculated efficiency.
Right, because he isn't just mindlessly spamming fireballs everywhere like a chaotic fountain. He is specifically managing his spatial awareness.
Yeah, he keeps the apes at exactly a 4-meter distance at all times. If they cross that invisible line, they die.
He took what is supposed to be a grueling tactical operation and turned it into a rhythm game. He recognized his advantage, which is limitless ammo, and optimized a perfect kiting strategy around it immediately.
And that strategic mind leads to the craziest part of this sequence.
Yeah.
It's not the 30-minute clear speed, it's what he does after he kills the boss.
Oh man, yeah. He doesn't leave.
He stays behind in the empty cavern.
He just parks himself by the exit crystal and starts grinding. Walk me through the mechanics of what he's actually doing here, because this blew my mind.
Okay, so he spends 40 minutes in an empty cave, doing nothing but casting fireball. Over 3,000 casts. Normally, a hunter levels up their physical body by absorbing life cores, but a skill's proficiency only goes up through repeated use. Because every other hunter is restricted by their mana battery, it takes months or years to level up a basic F-rank spell. Most hunters abandon their F-rank spells long before they hit level 30, because they just save up to buy E-rank spells instead.
But Noah has infinite mana and an empty room.
Exactly. He bypasses the time gating of a magical economy completely. He casts it over 3,000 times, and his fireball proficiency shoots up to level 59 in a single afternoon.
So what happens to the physics of an F-rank spell when you force it to level 59? It doesn't just stay a normal fireball, right?
The spell fundamentally evolves. The magical condensation changes. At level 59, the ambient atmospheric mana is packed so tightly that the fireball becomes highly condensed, almost solid.
Wow.
Yeah, the thermodynamic shift, it burns hotter, it flies at double the velocity. He can now instantly manifest 2 of them a second. He has effectively forced an F-rank spell to hit with the kinetic and thermal impact of a D-rank spell.
And the implications for this world's lore are staggering. You've got guys like Steel Mikhail out there.
Yeah, Steel Mikhails is the highest ranked hunter known to the public, a legendary figure. And even Steel Mikhail, with all his S-rank stats, couldn't just stand in a room and cast a spell 3,000 times without a break.
It violates the established thermodynamics of their reality.
It really does.
And this is the exact moment Noah fully accepts the reality of his situation.
Yeah.
He isn't just an anomaly with a really big mana pool. It is truly infinite mana. That blank stat isn't an error code, it's an infinity symbol.
He realizes he holds a god-tier power.
And like clockwork, what happens when a normal, desperate guy suddenly realizes he holds god-tier power?
He gets incredibly arrogant and almost dies immediately.
Instantly. He is literally high on infinite mana, so instead of going to a safe hotel to process this, he takes a Dodge Charger Hunter ride straight to an E-rank dungeon, Frozen Wasteland.
Which is such a bad idea.
Now this is an orange monolith.
Which means it's highly unstable. It's teetering on the edge of a dungeon break. And most hunters heavily avoid it because the environment itself is a weapon. You've got extreme freezing temperatures that sap your vitality before the monsters even touch you.
But Noah thinks he's invincible. And, okay, to be fair, he pulls off a genuinely clever trick at first to survive the environment.
Right.
Explain the heat shield trick to me, because it sounds like it should be impossible.
It should be. So to combat the freezing cold, Noah summons a ring of fireballs, but instead of launching them, he commands them to orbit around his body constantly. He creates a permanent active thermal heat shield.
That's so cool.
But mechanically, holding a spell active in a sustained state drains mana exponentially faster than just casting and releasing it. Sustaining multiple fireballs simultaneously would drain any normal high-tier mage dry in minutes.
But for Noah, his battery never drains. It's just free, infinite climate control. So he's strolling through the snow, mowing down packs of white wolves and giant Arctic foxes. It feels like a victory lap.
Until he hits floor 15, the musk oxen.
The reality check. These things are massive, like bisons, but they have incredibly thick, magical fur. His level 59 fireballs aren't one-shotting them anymore.
No, the fur is absorbing the kinetic impact and dispersing the thermal energy.
For the first time all day, Noah actually has to retreat. He has to specifically aim for vulnerable headshots while backpedaling through the snow just to survive.
The environment is scaling up faster than his F-rank spell can handle, which leads us to the climax of this entire sequence. Floor 20, the boss room.
I want to play the scene out for you because reading it is genuinely terrifying. He walks down these crystalline ice stairs into a massive, echoing cavern, and sleeping in the center is this gigantic polar bear.
It is huge.
The sheer physical size of it makes Noah feel suffocated, so he doesn't even wait for it to wake up. He commands all his orbiting fireballs to hit it at once, and then he chucks 10 more directly at it for good measure.
There's a massive explosion. The cavern shakes, and the air fills with blinding ice dust and smoke.
And here is the classic gamer mistake. He assumes the boss is dead because he hit it with his ultimate combo.
Yep.
He drops his guard, but tearing right through the dust cloud, the bear charges.
This is a genuine oh no moment. Like the bear's arms are mangled and burnt from the blast, but it doesn't care. It closes the distance instantly.
Yeah.
Its jaws are wide open, and it is literally inches from Noah's face.
He can see its teeth, he can smell its breath. In a blind panic, purely on survival instinct, Noah just hurls another 10 fireballs directly into the dust cloud. He doesn't even aim.
Just throws them.
And just by sheer unbelievable luck, that blind volley goes straight into the bear's open mouth and blows its head off from the inside out.
He almost died. His jaw was a fraction of a second away from being physically ripped from his skull.
He collapses on the frozen floor, breathing heavily, completely shaken, and it's such a necessary grounding moment.
It really is.
He realizes his own stupidity. He's an F-rank hunter, using an F-rank spell, trying to face tank an E-rank boss.
Right. He hasn't absorbed any life cores yet to increase his physical speed, his reaction time, or his physical defense.
If that bear had been just a millimeter faster, infinite mana wouldn't have saved his life.
It grounds him beautifully. He realizes he's a glass cannon, but the universe rewards his near-death experience with the absolute perfect loot drop. The boss leaves behind an E-rank skill book, Arctic Armor.
Which is so completely broken for him. Explain the underlying magical mechanics here. How does mana convert to physical ice, and why does his infinite mana make this so overpowered?
Usually defensive skills run on a strict timer or a predetermined durability metric.
Yeah.
But Arctic Armor is an active channeled skill. When cast, it aggressively pulls ambient moisture from the air and converts the user's mana into a layer of crystalline ice armor encasing their body.
Okay.
The key mechanic is that it stays active and continuously regenerates any cracked layers for as long as energy is supplied to it.
So for a normal vitality tank, it's an emergency panic button. They cast it, their mana battery drains rapidly by the second, and the rest of the team has to kill the boss before the tank runs out of juice and the crystalline armor shatters.
Exactly. But for Noah, the second he supplies mana to it, the circuit never closes.
Wow.
He has permanent, actively regenerating, invincible E-rank armor encasing his body at all times. Because his mana flow is continuous, the crystalline density of the ice never weakens.
That's wild. An E-rank physical attack literally cannot penetrate an infinitely regenerating E-rank shield. He essentially just solved his squishy glass cannon mage problem forever.
He really did.
He retreats to the pristine residency hotel to rest and literally count his money. And while he's lying in that luxurious bed, it really opens up some massive questions about where this universe is heading.
All right, time for the DeepLore Theory Corner. Let's look at the bigger picture here.
Let's do it. We've got a guy breaking the laws of physics on day one. Let's start with the spell itself. What actually happens when Fireball proficiency maxes out at level 100?
Ooh, good question.
If it's hitting with D-rank kinetic power at level 59, does an F-rank spell eventually mutate into S-rank power?
I think it has to physically change form. We've already seen it condense and increase in velocity. At level 100, a fireball might not even be a ball anymore.
Right.
The thermal dynamics might push it into becoming like a concentrated laser beam of pure plasma. The overarching system governing this universe was simply not designed for an F-rank spell to be cast 100,000 times. It might actually glitch the system architecture and evolve the skill into a completely new, unranked category.
Okay, but let's look at the blank stat itself. Is Noah totally unique? Or is a blank focus a known hidden phenomenon among the elites? Like you mentioned Steel Mikhail earlier. Does Steel Mikhail secretly have a blank strength stat?
I lean toward Noah being completely unique. The way the apocalypse happened, over 1 billion people died, society collapsed. It's a brutal dog-eat-dog system.
Yeah.
If infinite stats were a known phenomenon, the ruling guild class would have monopolized it long ago. The fact that the system couldn't even render a number for him, like it just gave him a dash, implies he exists entirely outside the programmed parameters of this magical apocalypse.
Which brings up the most terrifying point, the government tracking we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
He is solo clearing dungeons in record time, and he's about to dump massive amounts of life cores into the public market. At Ape's Paradise alone, he got $60,000 worth of materials in 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of cores.
When will the authorities notice this economic disruption, and how bad will it be for him?
They're going to notice the supply chain anomaly first. Suddenly, there's an unexplained influx of pristine F&E rank cores hitting the exchange. They track all currency exchanges at the Awaken centers.
So there's a paper trail.
Exactly. The moment he tries to liquidate that bulk, someone's algorithm is going to flag his Hunter ID. And when they do, they won't send an auditor to ask politely. They'll send a C-rank hit squad to black bag him.
Okay, speaking of C-rank, let's talk about his money. He has a ton of cash now. What should he spend his 60 grand on for his first major C-rank skill purchase?
Good question.
I'll go first. Based on the polar bear fight, he absolutely needs a C-rank nuke. Pure offensive magic. We saw what happened. The F-rank fireball, even at level 59, almost failed to stop an E-rank boss's physical momentum.
I don't know about that.
Hear me out. He needs a spell that can instantly vaporize a target at the molecular level because his single target damage output is lagging severely behind the dungeon scaling.
No way. I'm pushing back hard on that. Offense is a total trap for him right now.
Why?
Did you look at the mechanics of the polar bear fight? The core problem wasn't just that he couldn't kill it fast enough. The problem was that he couldn't physically dodge the bear's rush.
Well, yeah.
He has base level 10 physical stats. He needs speed and mobility. If he buys a C-rank teleportation or agility skill, he can infinitely kite anything in the entire world. With infinite mana, a low damage spell is completely fine as long as you can never be hit.
Okay, fair.
If he just buys a bigger nuke, he's still a stationary glass cannon.
But the Arctic armor fixes his defense.
The Arctic armor is E-rank. A C-rank monster will shatter that ice and break his ribs in one swipe before it even has time to regenerate. Needs mobility, full stop.
And we're gonna have to see what he actually picks in the next chapters, but it leaves you with one chilling thought to mull over before we go.
Yeah.
We've spent this whole deep dive focusing on Noah's infinite focus stat, assuming he's the only one who broke the rules. But in a world where over 1 billion people died and the entire planet was reformatted by this system, what if Noah isn't the only anomaly out there?
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Right. What happens to the world when he eventually meets someone who has a blank, infinite variable in strength or vitality?
I guess we'll find out.
That's deep lore for today. Drop your theories in the comments. We read all of them. See you in the next one.